Daily Detroit is brought to you by the community. Support our work at patreon.com/dailydetroit.
This is your Daily Detroit, sharing what to know and where to go in Southeast Michigan. I'm Jer Stays.
And I'm Sven Gustafson, coming to you from Detroit's University District on December 17th, 2018. Let's dive right in.
The question of when construction will be done on I-696 in Macomb County continues to be an open one. A new update from the Michigan Department of Transportation doesn't deliver happy news. MDOT says that unpredictable winter weather makes it impossible to announce an exact date. The MyDrive site will be updated for now to show lane closures into January. My reading of this is that it's pretty safe to say we're not getting the Ruther Freeway restored in time for Christmas. Fresh concrete takes a long time to cure in colder temperatures, and if it freezes during the first 24 hours, it permanently loses strength. The good news is that the work in Oakland County is complete.
Hashtag restore the Ruther.
The Broadway. When ordinary isn't good enough.
That's a 2016 ad from longtime downtown Detroit clothier The Broadway. The store's owner says he's closing up shop after 43 years in business. The store on Broadway Street first opened in 1975. It's holding a going out of business liquidation sale and will close by next spring or whenever inventory runs out. Owner Pepper Martin is now 70 and says he wants to retire. He convinced Bedrock to purchase the property from him in August. Martin opened the store with Donnie Goldstein after using their life savings to lease the building. The store sells high-end clothing from around the world, alligator and ostrich shoes, fur and leather jackets, and other clothes. A statement from Martin reads, quote, "After 43 years of serving generations of customers, it is time for me to retire. I have enjoyed every moment of owning the Broadway, the good days and the times I couldn't take a paycheck. The best thing has been working with the people of Detroit. This is not a sad day. To witness the city rise up from the depths it was in and being in the heart of downtown to witness its rebirth has been exhilarating."
Daily Detroit is brought to you in part by Milo Digital. Milo Digital is a full-service digital marketing agency that engineers quality results through data and innovative strategies. Learn more at milodetroit.com. Two James Distillery in Corktown is getting a new neighbor that promises to serve tasty Italian, Irish, and German foods. It's called Cork and Gable. The news comes from Eaters Brenna Hook. They plan to open the 4,400 square foot space near the old Michigan Central Station on Wednesday, that's December 19th. The restaurant will use ingredients sourced from local farms and suppliers with a menu that promises gnocchi, schnitzel, brats, and lamb bolognese. It'll seat 112 people and has a rooftop clock you can see from Michigan Avenue. There are more details on the Eater website. We'll link to it in the show notes.
The QLine is now offering free rides as a part of a holiday promotion. The free rides started Saturday and go until midnight, January 1st. It's thanks to gifts from the Kresge Foundation, the Quicken Loans family of companies, and Penske Corporation, three of the streetcar's founding contributors. The QLine is encouraging shoppers to use the streetcar to get to retail stores and restaurants during the holiday season. I'll note here that about half the time I take the QLine before this, the fare box wasn't working anyway.
You guys getting any Christmas shopping done, speaking of which? How about you, Shai?
I've gotten some Christmas shopping done, mainly for the kid.
I was at that event in the Fisher Building the other night and decided I'm going to definitely head back there to pick up a couple knickknacks. Ford's Lincoln Motor Company division is making news today for bringing back an icon of mid-century automotive design. Lincoln has announced a limited edition version of its Continental luxury sedan fitted with suicide doors. That's the name given to center opening doors, meaning the front and rear doors open like French doors inside a home. It's officially known as the 80th Anniversary Coach Door Edition. The car pays homage to the original Continental, introduced in 1939 as a top-of-the-line Lincoln Zephyr, and to the suicide doors that adorned the vehicles in the 1960s. As for the car itself, it's essentially a stretched Continental made 6 inches longer and equipped with the suicide doors. Those doors will open a full 90 degrees. Inside, there's a rear flow-through center console in place of the middle seat, with a stowable tray table, tablet holder, and more. It's super exclusive, though. Lincoln will make a whopping total of just 80 coach door Continentals for 2019, and another batch is possible for the 2020 model year as well. Pricing will likely be north of $100,000, and it comes loaded with Lincoln's black label trim options. It's available to order now for delivery next summer. about that term. Suicide doors are believed to refer to the danger of falling out of a vehicle, since rear hinge doors would easily fling wide open from the wind while moving. They were popular features of horse-drawn carriages, and they were said to be particularly popular during the 1930s since they offered gangsters an easy way to throw people out of moving cars.
Not gonna lie, Sven, that car looks sweet. I feel like I'd need to drive it wearing a zoot suit, though, and a suit that I probably could have bought at the Broadway.
Yeah, along with some alligator shoes, maybe. We'll put a photo of the car in our blog post on dailydetroit.com.
So I'm excited about this story. In its day, the Grande Ballroom played host to a who's who of 1960s and 70s rock and roll acts, including hometown heroes like Alice Cooper and the Stooges, plus megastars like The Who, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and Cream. It's where the MC5 recorded its famous 1968 breakout album, Kick Out the Jams. Sven, I'm sure that's a favorite of yours. Now, the building at Grand River Avenue and Joy Road has been added to the National Register of Historic Places. The FREEP reports the designation will help the property qualify for tax credits, financing, and grants. The next step is to review results of a report about the building's structural integrity and draw up plans for any future use. First opened in 1928, the Grande stopped hosting concerts in 1972. It's been dark since the early 80s, and the building is now owned by Chapel Hill Missionary Baptist Church. The building is in significant disrepair, so it'll be interesting to see what the report reveals about its structural health.
For the past year, the Huntington Woods Library has hosted a monthly drag queen Storytime. Now the event is drawing fire from some residents and anti-gay organizations. The event is exactly what it sounds like. A drag queen comes to the library and reads stories for kids of all ages. It's become a popular draw with families in Huntington Woods and the surrounding communities. Drag Queen Storytime was started last year by the library's Youth Services Director, Joyce Crom, but a handful of local residents and national anti-gay groups say that young children aren't ready to be introduced to the concept of drag queens. One of the people who opposes this program is Allison Iverson, who's a Huntington Woods City Commissioner. She plans on bringing up the issue at the commission's meeting on Tuesday. Last year, she asked Crom in an email why parents, quote, feel it is wise to expose our young children to such clearly provocative, controversial, unabashedly queer, in quotes, demonstrations of diversity, end quote. Huntington Woods City Manager Amy Sullivan tells the Free Press that the program has lots of community support and there are no plans to change or cancel it. So to talk about this, our Cheyenne Nocerini joins us. Cheyenne, what do you think of Drag Queen Storytime?
I love Drag Queen Storytime. I actually took my 4-year-old, he was 3 at the time, to Drag Queen Storytime at Huntington Woods because I think it's really important that kids see and meet different people of all types. Mm-hmm. And I, for one, am a huge drag queen fan. So I love this program so much. Was there an attempt to indoctrinate your young child into the ways of drag queendom? Well, for a fact, my son has been indoctrinated into drag queendom fandom since inception. Really? Because I used to listen to RuPaul like forever, like even when I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. Like I've always loved drag queens and I've always loved the art of drag. So he knows who RuPaul is. He knows who some of these drag performers are on like RuPaul's Drag Race, for instance, because I think it's important that kids get to see like people of all types. And I think that when you meet people of different ilks, you see that they're not so scary. So I have a funny anecdote to share. My son back in the fall was having soccer practice twice a week in Royal Oak. And on the way home from practice each night, we were going straight past the business called 515, which is right next to Pronto. And it's kind of a novelty shop in Royal Oak. Yeah, and they do drag queen bingo. Drag queen bingo. And it's, the whole storefront is plate glass windows and the stage is illuminated and everything. And it's kind of hard to miss it when you're driving past it. And my son, who was 10 at the time, asked me, what was going on. I explained, or he asked what drag queens were. And I thought, well, this is a little awkward. But I explained. I said, it's men dressing up to be women. And he said, that was a man dressing up as a woman? I said, yeah. Well, he did a really good job. Right? I mean, in fact, now women can dress up as men. They are called drag kings. But for this instance, drag queens spend so much time making themselves up and to make this illusion that they are women. And I think that it's really a beautiful art. And I think it's important that kids get to see this.
Well, and I think it's important, I mean, to your point too, that kids, become accepting of different perspectives, different, orientations, sexuality and everything. I mean, my son has one of his best friends' sibling basically came out as trans just a couple of years ago in high school and started identifying as a boy, as a man, We talked about that when we tried to explain it to him. He said, well, that just happens with some people. They don't feel that they're in the right gender clothing, as it were. Right.
I do want to make one point. Kids are often very accepting of everybody. It's more so the parents. So if parents come and bring their kids to these programs, they too can find out that, hey, these people are just like I am. So it also helps parents get to learn and accept other people as well.
And I would also offer that if people are truly upset by this, they just cannot come.
On the way out, I wanted to tell you about something happening on Wednesday night at Otis Supply up in Ferndale. Peter Keys of Lynyrd Skynyrd fame and the all-time Low Stars will be playing, featuring guitarist Kenny Olson. Olson was part of the Hendrix Experience and played on some of Kid Rock's big albums. They're going to film the show too. The 18 and up show starts at 7 p.m. Tickets for the show are $15 in advance and $20 at the door. We will have a link where you can buy tickets and get more information in the show notes.
That'll do it, friends. I'm Sven Gustafson. If you like our show, be sure to tell somebody about it. And of course, thanks so much for listening.
And I'm Jer Stays. Take care of each other, and we'll see you around Detroit.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.